actually, that's 18. We'll be using. No. Well, not likely to be a whole page, but some of the questions are reused. That's an incentive for people to study the question facts. It's good.
Welcome to School Reach. I'm John once again, your quizmaster for this game between Nepean and St. Matthew. Now I'd like the players to introduce themselves, starting with Nepean.
Sean Potter, Ian McLeod, Chris Stripper, Brendan McCormick.
Thank you. And from St. Matthews?
Colin.
Anna.
Thank you. Now we'll play 3 rounds of questions with a minute break between each round. Now, if the scorekeeper is ready, let's begin round 1 of School Reach. 40-point snap start to round 1. Peter C. Newman is working on the 3rd and final volume in Arnold.
Hudson Bay Company.
That's correct. In what city was Canada's first subway system built? Jacques.
Montreal.
That's incorrect. St. Matthew? Dino.
Toronto.
That's correct. When one reads of draconian laws, as laid down by the Athenian statesman Draco, one associates them with what characteristic? Jacques.
Very extreme.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll accept that. Parole has been denied for at least 2 more years for Robert Kennedy's murderer. Who is the assassin? Ian.
Sirhan Sirhan.
Correct. 30-point open question on tempers. Studies have been made, this is only an introduction, which suggest that hot weather makes people more angry and aggressive. Answer the following questions on the subject. First question. Shakespeare suggested for the theory when one of his characters was given this advice, quote, Dino.
Dino, you didn't touch the button. Oh. Okay. Be real careful with the buttons. I mean, they shouldn't work unless you press them down. And Dino, just try it again. Press the button. I saw your hand move for some reason, but press. It does work. So you can be real careful. But I think we're going to have to go if your light is on. Come up with an answer, or else. Yeah.
So this question is only for Nepean?
No, it's not now for Nepean.
Nepean only. Okay. The quote is, "For how these hot days is the mad blood stirring." End quote. Begin quote. "I pray thee, let's retire." End quote. To whom was the advice given? Hint, it was not heeded and a tragedy followed. Jacques.
Desdemona.
Incorrect. Romeo before he killed Tybalt. When we get angry, according to the expression, where do we get hot? Colin. Any ruling?
No.
No, that's incorrect. Jacques? Incorrect. Under the collar is the right expression.
Yeah, I know. It's an expression.
In another expression, linking heat and anger, what might flare? Vivian.
Tempers.
Yes, that's correct. 30-point open question on capitals. What is the capital of Nepal? Arnold.
Kathmandu.
That's correct. What is the capital of Malaysia? Arnold.
Kuala Lumpur.
That's correct. What was the capital of West Germany? Arnold.
Bonn.
That's correct. Well done. 40-point team question. In this 2-part team question, whichever team is first to answer correctly the 5-point scramble question in part 1 is then eligible for the remaining 10-point questions in part 2. Part 1, scramble for 5 points. Which professional hockey league was established in 1971? Chris.
WHL.
No.
Yeah. No, that's incorrect. Colin. Yes, that's correct. The World Hockey Association.
5 points. 5 points.
5 points, yes. questions deal with the World Hockey League and are only open for St. Matthew. Which NHL superstar was signed to play for the Winnipeg Jets in the 1972-73 season? Incorrect. Bobby Hull. The following year, the Houston Aeros signed which other NHL great, whose two sons already played for the team? Yes, that's correct. Can you please speak a little louder there, Gino? Okay, last question. The WHA disbanded in 1979, but 4 of the teams joined the NHL. Name any 3.
Edmonton, Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, Edmonton.
That's incorrect. Edmonton and Winnipeg are correct, but the other 2 are Quebec and Hartford. Now back to 4 open questions in the field of archaeology. What stone, discovered by Ian?
The Rosetta Stone.
Well done, correct. Why was the Rosetta Stone so helpful in translating hieroglyphics? Arnold.
It has hieroglyphs on it.
And
More, please.
And it's discovered near the pyramids.
no.
Incorrect, Ian.
It has hieroglyphics translated into ancient Greek.
That's correct. Whose famous tomb was discovered in 1922? Brendan.
King Tutankhamun.
That's correct. Who was the British archaeologist who discovered Brendan?
Carter.
Correct. 20-point open question on math. Introduction. I'll give you a trigonometric expression dealing with angles of x. You give me an equivalent single-term expression with angles of 2x. First
You
question.
can use your pens if you want.
Good idea to write this down. 2 cos squared x minus 1. Remember, I want values of 2x in a single expression. Brendan.
2 times squared x.
Incorrect. St. Matthew, any answer? Colin.
Close to x.
No, cos of 2x is the right equivalency. Next question. 2 tan x divided by 1 minus tan squared x. Again, I want it in terms of 2x in a single expression. Brendan.
2 tan x.
No.
That's incorrect. St. Matthew? Arnold.
And 2x.
That's correct. 80-point assigned question, the letter Z. Here's an assigned question on the letter Z in which each member of each team is assigned a 10-point question. If you miss your question, then your counterpart on the opposing team will have a chance at it for 5 points. Starting with Nepean and Jacques. What river flows through southeast Africa to the Indian Ocean? That's incorrect. Colin for 5 points. No, the Zambezi River.
No consulting on either team, please, because if the first team misses it, the second team would get a chance for 5 points. But if I see consulting, the 5 points are out. So, okay, understand?
Okay, second question for Ian. Name the Danish island on which Copenhagen is located. No answer? Dino? No, Zealand. Next for Chris. What is the domesticated ox of the Orient? No answer? Arnold.
I'll pass for that one.
The Zebu. And finally, for Brendan, who is the Swiss Protestant leader of the 16th century? No answer. Vivian? No answer? Zwingli. Okay, let's reverse roles and start with St. Matt's now. Give the name of the Tanzanian island in the Indian Ocean about 20 miles off the East African coast. Any answer? No answer? Okay, Jacques? No, Zanzibar is the correct answer. Next for Dino. Give a synonym for enthusiastic. No answer. Ian?
Zealous.
Yes, for 5 points, correct. Next for Arnold. What is the special form of meditative Buddhism?
Zen.
Correct, for 10 points. What modern Russian-born violinist, Vivian, made his reputation in the USA? You don't know? Brendan? Ephraim Zimbalist. Now on to 3 open questions. Pop music. So there is no music to go with it. Who was the native son of PEI, who only began his singing career in 1964 on finding himself broke and otherwise without prospects in Timmins, Ontario? Ian?
Don France.
That's incorrect. St. Matthew? No answer? Dino? No. Stompin' Tom Connors. What West Coast band derives its name from a rallying cry voiced by Americans during the 1846 Oregon boundary dispute? Ian?
Rush.
That's incorrect. Arnold?
49 degrees north.
No. 5440 is the correct answer. At the Rolling Stones' disastrous concert at Altamont Speedway in 1969, what band was... Ian? Too late? I'll finish the question for St. Matthew. What band was scheduled to appear but chose not to due to the violence of the Hells Angels? No answer. The answer is the Grateful Dead. That was fun. Now on to 4 questions. Snap break to end the round. What prime minister was assassinated in 1984? Arnold?
Gandhi.
Correct. In 1957, the Federal Conservative Party took power for the first time. Arnold?
Peterbilt.
That's correct. What is the largest city in the Maritime Provinces? Arnold?
Halifax.
Correct. Who wrote Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience? Too long. The answer is William Blake. And that ends round 1 with a score of 65 for Nepean and 125 for St. Matthew.
Questions? If not, let's continue.
On to round 2 with a 40-point snap start. Who was the one and only president of the Confederate States of America? Brendan?
Davis.
That's correct. China and Japan went to war in 1931 when the Japanese invaded Brendan.
Manchuria.
That's correct. What is given off by an exothermic chemical column? That's correct. What was Johnny Appleseed's real name? Too long? John Chapman is the correct answer. We now have a 40-point Who Am I question. This question is worth 40 points if you guess the answer on the first clue, and 10 points less with each succeeding clue until either team answers the question correctly. Clue A for 40 points. I was a professional engraver for my entire life, but I am best remembered as an English romantic poet. Who am I? Dino?
William Byrd.
Incorrect. Nepean? Jacques?
Emerson.
Incorrect. 30-point clue B. Always a rebel, I was charged with high treason in 1803 for having said, quote, "Damn the king, damn all his subjects." Brendan?
Oscar Wilde.
Incorrect. St. Matthew? Arnold? I'm sorry, that's too long. Clue C for 20 points. After my death, by which time Romanticism had firmly taken hold in England, I was generally regarded as insane by others such as Wordsworth. Who am I? Arnold?
Lord Byron.
Incorrect. Nepean? No answer? Final clue for 10 points. My works include Songs of Innocence, Songs of Experience. Ian?
Blake.
Correct. I wonder who thought that one. 30-point open question, Canadian geography. What large island in Arnold?
Manitou.
Yeah, first answer was correct.
Yes, Manitoulin Island is correct. What U.S. state is very close to Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario? Arnold.
Michigan.
Correct. James Bay is attached. Arnold.
Ontario.
Incorrect. Chris.
Hudson.
Correct. 30-point open question. Queen Elizabeth I. Within 10 years, how long did Queen Arnold?
45.
Exactly 45 years. What was the name of Elizabeth's cousin and rival to the Dino?
Yeah.
Yes, Mary Queen of Scots is what it says here. In 1588, Elizabeth presided over the English defeat of the Arnold.
Spain.
Correct. 40-point open question on spelling. First question. It means a pointed stick for driving cattle. Spell. Colin. Incorrect. Spell goad. Ian.
G-O-A-D.
Correct. It means the support of a patron. Spell patronage. Ian.
P-A-T-R-O-N-A-G-E.
Correct. It means to place under a debt of gratitude. Spell Arnold.
O-B-L-I-G-A-T-O-R-Y.
No.
Incorrect. Spell oblige. Ian.
O-B-L-I-G-E.
Correct. It means successfully accomplished persons. Spell notable. Arnold.
N-O-T-A-B-L-E.
Correct. Back to open questions on foreign political figures. Who was the 15th century Wallachian prince who served as the inspiration for Bram Stoker's literary figure of Dracula? Ian.
Vlad Tepes.
Correct. What was the name of the charter that Winston Churchill and Franklin Arnold?
Atlantic.
Correct. Who is the infamous American trader who lived in St. Dino? Correct. So that a child of Princess Juliana, in exile due to World War II, could be born on native soil, Prime Minister King temporarily seated a hospital room in Ottawa Civic Hospital. Arnold.
The Netherlands.
Correct. 40-point open question. Temperature scales. Name the English scientist who invented the Arnold.
Calvin.
Right again. What is the equivalent of 2 Kelvin on the Celsius? Jacques.
245 Celsius.
Incorrect. On the Celsius scale, St. Matthew. Colin.
71.
Correct. 68 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale is how many degrees? Dino.
40.
Correct. Which freezes at lower temperature? Oxygen? Jacques.
Oxygen.
Incorrect. I'll finish the question for St. Matthew. Oxygen or helium? Colin. Helium is correct. 30-point open question on Humphrey Bogart films. In which classic 1941 film? Ian.
Maltese Balkan.
Well done. Bogart and Ingrid Bergman co-starred in Ian.
Casablanca.
Right. Bogart won his only Oscar for
The African Queen.
correct. Well done. 40-point snap break to end the round. The Prize and The Chapman Report are 2 novels of which recently deceased American writer? Ian.
Paddy Chayefsky.
Incorrect. St. Matthew? No answer? Irving Wallace. What is the U.S. counterpart of our Department of National Revenue? Arnold.
IRS.
Correct. In what verse meter did Shakespeare? Dino. Mark, please. Correct. Who wrote the fable The Little Prince? Dino. Oh, correct. 1 minute break until round 3 with the score 175 for Nepean and 295 for St. Matthew.
Ready? Dino, ready? Ready? Okay.
Let's jump into round 3 with a 40-point snap start. Banting and best are associated. Arnold.
Insular.
Correct. What is the largest antelope? Jacques. Incorrect. St. Matthew? Dino? Incorrect. Eland. Who directed the film Battleship Potemkin? Ian?
Eisenstein?
Correct. In Islam, what angel revealed Arnold?
Gabriel.
Correct. 40-point team question. In this two-part team question, whichever team is first to answer correctly, the 5-point scramble question in part 1 is then eligible for the remaining 10-point questions in part 2. Scramble for 10 points. Who, in his drive for immigration to the west of Canada, Arnold?
Accepted.
Correct. Part 2, the remaining questions deal with Clifford Sifton and are only open for St. Matthew. First question, what Canadian company was an aggressive agent of Sifton's immigration drive in Europe? Answer please, Arnold?
That's the debate.
Incorrect. Canadian Pacific Railway. What newspaper, edited by J.W. Defoe, did Sifton acquire after he left Polynex?
Winnipeg Free Press.
Need a ruling?
Yeah, it says Manitoba Free Press. We'll go with Manitoba Free Press,
Okay.
but if somebody can look it up and say that Winnipeg is right, we'll
Final
check.
question. Over what issue did Sifton break the Liberal Party in 1911?
Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Free trade.
Yeah.
Yes, with the
Yeah.
United States,
Yeah.
yes. 40-point open question on ancient history. What region of Greece produced Alexander? Brendan?
Macedonia.
Correct. What ruler was known as the Scourge of God? Chuck?
Song?
Incorrect. St. Matthew? Dino?
Constantine.
Incorrect. Attila the Hun. What ancient Greek city did Pericles rule? Arnold? Correct. Who was the successor of Augustus in ancient Rome? Dino?
Tiberius.
No, that's incorrect. Nepean.
Reset.
Reset, please.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Incorrect. Tiberius is the correct answer. But I did hear you.
Yeah. Quizmaster's right. First audible answer. You can't correct yourself halfway through an answer.
30-point open question. Word puzzles. These are fun. What letter must be added to the word meaning either of the two fleshy folds forming the margins of the mouth to create a second word meaning to toss with a Colin? Correct, for lip and flip. What letter must be added to the word meaning a cardinal number 7 plus 1 to create a second word meaning the amount? Ian.
W.
Correct, for 8 and weight. What letter must be added to the word meaning to walk at a slow, leisurely pace to create a second word meaning to play at any game of chance for stakes? Brendan.
G.
That's correct. And I must say, I did hear the answer just whispered now from the audience. I'd like to caution the people in the audience not to
Quizmaster's
continue
right.
to give out the answer
Okay, good.
before
Quizmaster.
they answer. Thank you. 30-point open question on the media. The Winnipeg Tribune and the Ottawa Journal both shut down their operations on August 27, 1980. What did the Canadian press subsequently call this day? No answer. The correct answer is Black Wednesday. The word gazette has its origin in the word Arnold.
French.
Incorrect. For Nepean only, in the word gazetta, which was the coin prize for the world's first news sheet. In what city was this paper published? Ian.
Rome.
Incorrect. Venice is the right answer. What was the original name of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation? Dino. Nepean? Jacques?
Canadian Radio and Telecommunications Corporation.
Incorrect. The Canadian Radio Broadcasting Commission, the CRBC. And finally, a 120-point snap out to end the game. What chemical element has the symbol CO and Arnold?
Cobalt.
Correct. Who is the Roman goddess of flowers? Arnold.
Fauna.
Incorrect. Nepean. Ian.
Flora.
Correct. What basic measure of English poetry has 5 iambic feet? Arnold.
Pentameter.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll accept that. Iambic pentameter. What is the science of art or art having to do with the design, manufacture, and operation of aircraft? Ian.
Aeronautics.
Correct. What small river in eastern Italy was part of the traditional boundary of Roman Italy?
Reset.
Reset, please. Brendan.
Tiber.
Incorrect. St. Matthew. Dino.
The Pope.
Incorrect. The Rubicon. In zoology, what do you call the vessels and organs that carry and circulate? Jacques.
No.
Incorrect. The blood and lymph. St. Matthew. Dino.
Lymph node.
Incorrect. The vascular system. In the Rockies, what mountain pass is used by Arnold?
Rocky.
Incorrect. Nepean is used by both the CPR and the Trans-Canada Highway. Jacques.
Rogers Pass.
Incorrect. Kicking Horse Pass. According to the myth, what was left in Pandora's box when she closed? Arnold. Correct. Who is the Montreal Canadiens center known as Le Gros? Chris.
Beliveau.
Correct. What department store catalog was known as? Arnold.
Here.
Incorrect. As the Prairie Bible. Ian.
Eaton's catalog.
Yes. The Genie Awards are distributed annually to prize-winning films by what Canadian body? Ian.
The National Film Board.
Incorrect. St. Matthew. Dino.
The Canadian Academy for.
No, that's too late. The answer is the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television. What was the homeland of the Beothuk Islands? A tribe? Dino. Correct. And that's the end of the game. The score 390 for St. Matthew and 245
Scorekeeper, give one question back to the Nepean team, and Quizmaster one to St. Matthew. Good game. Okay, the next game then is Ridgemont versus Lisgar. Ridgemont versus Lisgar. So Ridgemont, you get to call the coin toss. Let me just.